Hello everyone, this is Mekkah, and I wish you all a very happy 2019. Hope you get to do all the things you want to do and have all the fun you want to have in the upcoming year. I know I wish you all like a happy 2018 on my Twitter feed, but I thought maybe I should give you some well wishes for the current year as well. That might be nice. So today we're going to talk about a funny parody video made by Link King 7 and kind of respond to it, because even though it's not a serious video, it warrants a bit of a serious response because of something that goes on within the community of Fire Emblem. So Link King made a video that parodies something that happened in the Smash community and kind of applies it to the Fire Emblem community, and it's pretty funny. It's not serious at all. The guy doesn't mean anything he says. It's just substitutions, and they're funny when you read them, but they don't really apply. At least that's how I feel about it. I'm not offended by it in any way, and neither should you. Of course, I say that because my name's in it, Manx's name is in it, and a couple of other people's names that I know are in it. It's pretty funny. So what happened in the Smash community was one guy kind of said, basically, after years of research, I've concluded that I think melee players aren't really part of the community, and he got like a ton of backlash for it, and deservedly so, because if you talk about other communities members like that, you deserve to get smacked. I'm not really up to date on the Smash drama or anything. I just read the Know Your Meme page and instantly forgot about it, because anything that doesn't apply to Fire Emblem kind of just leaves my memory right away. So, but even when you make it very clear that your video as a whole is just a parody, it's just a joke, like even if the title says parody, and even if at the end of the video you have like an entire minute or something explaining how this is a joke and it's not serious, there will be people who actually agree with what you're saying as a parody. And that concerns me a little bit, because there is a little bit of a sentiment that the Fire Emblem community as a whole is toxic and bad and divided. And to an extent, this is true, but I have some advice for you if you think this is the case. You should hang out in the places where I hang out, because I personally do not find the Fire Emblem community to be toxic at all. I generally just have a very chill time interacting with the people I know. So I think if you're finding the place that you're in annoying or elitist or divisive or in some way, you might want to look at different places in the community and try to interact with the people you enjoy interacting with, rather than the ones that just annoy you. And you'll find your days will be a lot brighter, you'll have a lot more fun, and you'll probably enjoy Fire Emblem a lot more, because I really think the Fire Emblem fanbase in general is one of the more chill fan bases I have ever been in. Not that I've been in many, but the people that talk about the Fire Emblem community compared to other communities also tend to compare Fire Emblem community pretty favorably. So I think my intuition here is right. So my time on the internet is, when it comes to Fire Emblem, is pretty divided between Discord and browsing the Fire Emblem subreddit, the official one. The official subreddit has a bit of a reputation with some people. Some people just basically refuse to go to it because it has the vibe of being elitist. I honestly don't think it is very much so. You do have to abide by a couple rules, but they're not unreasonable. And people are generally able to talk about their favorite things without getting lambasted for it. There's a thread almost every week or every month maybe where someone's like, man, I really enjoy Awakening or Fates, games that don't have a great reputation with long-time fans. There's that divide again. It exists, but people nowadays are pretty peaceful about it, I would say. People are okay with having different preferences to one another, and that's probably the way you should treat others as well. I have no problem with people liking Fates or Heroes or any game that I personally don't like. I will be happy to debate the quality of those games with those people, but I'm not going to disrespect people over playing those games and enjoying them. That's perfectly fine. They clearly appeal to a different audience, and that audience isn't me. It's kind of like the same thing with YouTubers that I personally don't enjoy watching. Like, I've gone on record saying Blazing Knight's videos aren't for me. The fast-paced editing and over-the-topness, they're well done. I appreciate the effort he's put into them, but they're not for me, and that's okay. That doesn't make me respect Blazing Knight as a person any less. So that's perfectly fine. And as long as you go about it with that attitude, I don't think you'll have a problem on the Fire Emblem subreddit at all. I think it's a very inclusive place. There's a lot of very wholesome people on there. I could name them all, but I'd probably forget a couple names, so I'll just say that they're there, and you're free to find out which ones are them yourself. But I just generally find the place just very chill. Same thing for the Discords I'm on. So I'm mostly on the official Fire Emblem subreddit Discord, which I do moderate, but very lazily. I generally just respond to calls like emergency highlights and that kind of stuff, but I don't really moderate it very aggressively. I just watch a couple channels that I happen to be part of anyway. And same thing, as long as you're, you know, not a dick to people, basically, you can have a plenty chill conversation. And the same goes for pretty much every other place I'm in. Yeah, the only other place I really frequent are like my own chat boxes, as I like to call them. So like the channel Mekkah's Prison Cell on Fort Mangs, for example. Fort Mangs has the reputation of being a little bit chaotic, and there's probably a bunch of, you could say, shit posters on there. I only really interact with people in my own channel because I know that they're there because they like me, basically. They watch me. And I don't really interact with the rest of them, so I can't really speak for those. I'm not saying they're bad, just saying I don't really talk to them very much. Now, if I really want to annoy myself, I could go to places where I know I won't find a whole lot of like-minded people. Like sometimes I do browse, for example, the Fire Emblem Heroes subreddit, and I don't really have a great time because there's a lot of people there that enjoy things that I personally do not enjoy, and they'll probably say a lot of things that I don't agree with. But I don't really care about that because that community is just not for me. So I'm not going there. It's that simple. I don't go there hating on Fire Emblem Heroes because I know I'll find a lot of opposition and I'm not interested in picking fights, contrary to, you know, the parody Mekkah that's been listed in that video. I don't go looking for contradiction. I just like to go to places and talk to people about Fire Emblem and maybe some other things. I don't know. And I think if you take that attitude yourself, you'll find you'll have a lot better time on the internet than if you're constantly picking fights with people or looking in places that you don't really enjoy yourself in. Now, I'm not saying you should never seek out an opposing view. Like, I think a healthy debate every once in a while is good. Mangs and I, for example, we disagree on a lot of things, but we talk it out like mature people. When we disagree on things, we have fun debating things, we have fun arguing. That's almost part of the appeal to our Let's Plays, I think. So it's definitely a good idea to look outside of your own bubble. I'm not saying you should never do that, but I think if you're not having fun in your free time, then you should probably look into why that is. And if you're hanging out in the wrong places in the community, maybe you should look into some more fun places. And I've named a couple that I personally enjoy, and I hope to see you there if you haven't checked it out. If you've already been there, had a bad time, give it a second chance. You might just be surprised. The point is, you can definitely have fun in the online Fire Emblem fandom without butting heads all the time or finding a toxic place, because there are so many different places, and I'm sure one of